Hello. Okay, so today I'm going to talk to you guys about my projects. I focused on the clean water and sanitation side of the United Nations sustainability goals. So, why did I choose this? So basically, the main reason I chose it, I saw as one of like the most important because without water, human life as we know it, like it wouldn't exist. We need water daily to drink. And for ourselves to function, as well as all plants and animals need it. Another big reason is it's really big for geology. So my biggest interest right now, my major, I've really been focusing especially on sedimentation, and water is a driving factor for that. Without that, rocks wouldn't be able to be deposited the ways they are, and fossils themselves wouldn't be able to be fossilized. It's also something that, like, especially learning about in class, I've learned how big of an issue water scarcity is, as well having clean water has actually become in certain parts of the world. So what did my project focus on? So I really wanted to focus on how much water I used and how much water I wasted. There's a lot of water shortages throughout the world, and there's simple ways that you can use to cut back on these. So I wanted to try and limit how much water I myself could use, so that way water isn't being drained and depleted from aquifers or wells as quick as they are. I also really want to understand what's in our drinking water and what we put in our drinking water. So, like, what kind of waste we throw away and what kind of effect that has on us. Especially here in Wisconsin, I wanted to focus on how big of an issue it is here. So those were kind of the goals that I set out to focus. I really wanted to focus more on Wisconsin as well because it is where I live, so it's a bigger issue. So what kind of data did I collect? So for over a month, I measured how long a shower took me, and I used an equation that basically converted that to how many gallons of water I then use in every shower. Um, from my data, I used roughly the majority of my showers were between 18 gallons of water to 30 gallons of water per shower, which in reality is kind of high. And part of that I feel like is because of living in a dorm room, that I have to use a communal shower and I'm not able to um, decide what shower head I have, and therefore I can't limit that water that's coming out or the water pressure per se. So here's a more of a breakdown of my water. You can see that my average water usage per shower was 22 gallons. And now if you compare that from the Environmental Protection Agency, they said that an average family uses 40 gallons of water showering a day. So that an average family is 3 to 4 people. So from what I've learned, my water usage is really high. Um, and I was trying to cut back on that. And I think back in, if I were in my own home and I was able to use a shower head that limited how much water I had, I would have done this more effectively. I also tried to figure out what was entering our water system. So I kind of talked about to my friends on how many of them use plastic bags when they go to a grocery store. And the majority of my friends do. Majority of people use it and then they throw it away, which on top makes it worse because it's a plastic. So then those plastics end up in the water systems as microplastics, and fish or plankton can eat them, and it disrupts the entire food chain. But focusing more on Wisconsin, I learned that plastic necessarily isn't an issue, but nitrate is. Since Wisconsin's such a big farming state, there is a lot of fertilizer that's used. And so, according to this article by Laura Supes, uh, the largest issue is nitrate in the water. And it's a large problem because of the agriculture that there is. So phosphorus and nitrogen are used in fertilizer, and then this runs off into the water streams, which then creates an excess of algae that then is extremely harmful to the plants and the wildlife and disrupts the entire food chain in the water. So what did I learn? So what I learned is that it's kind of easy to make a difference, especially in your water usage. So the Environmental Protection Agency, again, they recommend switching to water sense marked shower heads, and these showers could save the average person 2,700 gallons of water a year, which is a crazy amount. And if specifically if we transfer to this to at the university level, and all the university showers use these shower heads, it would add up and really make a difference in how quickly water is draining from our wells and our aquifers. I also think another big issue is that there's a lack of understanding and not enough education around this topic, especially because I talk to my friends about plastic use and having conversations about how long people shower. It's really interesting to see that not many people understand that there's a water issue going on and that other countries lack water, or water has been used up too much for agriculture that it's not able to sustain drinking water. So looking to the future, this could potentially be something that I'm interested in, especially going with my geography and geology background and that what I want to do. So water sanitation and cleanup is something that I think would be very interesting to go into, and so it kind of drove me to this idea. Um, but then it's also kind of showed that I can make a difference. Like especially when I go back home, I plan on switching to better water saving shower heads, and trying to cut back on the water usage that I have myself, but also be very conscious about what I throw away and what waste goes into. And then in reality, we can help save future generations. And it's something that I would be more than happy to do and work for in my life. And then here are my sources. Yeah. So thank you.